The Tallboy Experience.
Hey, it's the Tallboy Experience. Hey, we're live for the Mother's Day celebration here in Atlanta, and I got double platinum, multi-platinum. He sold a lot of records.
Yeah, that's a lot.
Sold a lot of records. Jeffery Osborne, how you doing, sir?
I'm great. How you doing, Tallboy?
Hey, I'm doing all right. Well, Atlanta, what does it mean to you?
I love Atlanta. Atlanta's always been a very strong market for me. You know, they break records here. They broke a lot of my records back in the day. Great audiences, great food, fine women. You know, my wife's from Atlanta, so I like Atlanta.
Okay, all right. What is it like performing in front of your fans?
It's a wonderful thing, man. It's great to stand in front of people and have them singing the words to your song. And, you know, it's just one of those, that's what you live for. I mean, I think performing is my first love. I mean, we can go in the studio and record, but it's kind of cold. It's just you and the engineer. But when you come out in front of an audience and they give you back, it's that chemistry that, you know, you give and receive. That's the most incredible thing.
Now, out of all the songs that you've done, what has been your favorite?
It's hard to say. I think with LTD, my favorite is Love Ballad. And as a solo artist, I'd have to say On the Wings of Love, because that established me as a solo artist, and Love Ballad established me as a singer back in the day with LTD.
Now, I was doing my homework and my research today, and I see you did a lot of duets with a lot of artists, with Shaka Khan and
I did Dionne Warwick,
right.
Shaka Khan, and I did one with Joyce Kennedy back in the day, which was a really good big song for me.
Now, out of all the duets that you've done, is there one that stands out the most?
Well, I mean, I just did one with Shaka, so that's standing out a little more. My new album's only been out for a couple of months, and I did a duet with Shaka on that. But the Joyce Kennedy duet, I think, was probably my favorite song. I saw a song called Last Time I Made Love. It was a great ballad.
Now, you talking about, you just mentioned on your new album. Can you talk about that? And what made you come out with this album? Because I heard you say earlier today it has a touch of jazz to it.
Oh, definitely. It's a different kind of record for me. It's one I've always wanted to do. Always wanted to do a jazz record. You know, most of the companies back in the day didn't want me to do it. They wanted original material. So now I'm getting to the point where I can kind of do what I want to do. So I got together with George Duke. He produced my first 3 solo albums. And we hooked up, and he produced this album. And it's a great album. It's you know, all classic jazz standards, kind of like a Nat King Cole record. And those are all classic great songs. It's probably one of my favorite records because it's real melodies and beautiful lyrics, and you know, it's just a great collection of songs, and George did a great job producing it.
Now let me ask you, who have been some of your mentors that you've had coming up in your journey?
Well, I love everyone. I listen to everyone. You know, back then I think it was Aretha Franklin and Gladys. I still love Gladys and Aretha, and I listened to everybody back as far as Joe Williams and Billy Eckstine and Sarah Vaughan, and you know, I listened to all the artists. I'm the youngest of 12 in my family, so I had to listen to everything they wanted to listen to. So I was into Miles Davis and Clifford Brown and, you know, Herbie Hancock, and, you know, I listened to everything. I love everything.
Now, out of your mentors that you mentioned, or maybe someone else, is there that one thing that they said to you that's always stuck with you?
Well, I think that goes back to my family. You know, everybody in my family is musically inclined. My mother probably gave me the greatest inspiration of anyone. You know, she had 12 kids, and she told me that I had what it takes for me to go after it. So she was always there, a great motivating force, and she's my sole source of motivation and inspiration.
Wow. Now, segueing into speaking about your mom, it's Mother's Day tomorrow. Any special words that you might want to leave, or what might be that special gift that you might think would be great for Mom?
I think the special gift is for all you children to go out there and spend that day with your mother. You know what? And be thankful that she's still here with you, you know, because my mother's been gone for quite a few years, and she passed right around Mother's Day.
Wow.
So I think about her every Mother's Day, and I wish I had that person in my life that I could spend the day with. So for all you people out there who you know your mothers are still around, make sure that you do not miss out on tomorrow. Spend that day with your mother. Show her some love.
That's big. In this whole journey, what's been the most memorable experience for you?
I don't think there's one of the most memorable experience. There's been a lot of great moments. I think the first time I ever heard myself on radio was a great moment. It took me forever to get to that point. And then, you leave a group after 10 years with LTD and become a solo artist. And I think just hooking up with George Duke for my first solo album and having my first solo album be a success, that's one of the greatest memories I have, because it's tough leaving a group and becoming a solo artist, so. And then along the way, there's moments like, We Are the World, where you get together with all those great artists and you do a song like that. And it's just so many great moments. I'm just blessed, and I don't know what I'd do if it wasn't for music. And, it's one of those things that, you're wonderfully blessed if you can make a living doing what you love to do. And so I always, pray. I say prayers for that, because that's a true blessing.
I got to ask you, what did you do with your first check that you got when you first got your first, when they gave you that first check and you saw it come in the mail? What did you do with it?
I took a picture of it. I took a picture of it because it was a while before I got a first check. That was a first check. I mean, with LTD, we lived in one bedroom house, 10 of us for years, so there wasn't no checks coming in back then. So it was a struggle. But I think when I signed my first solo deal, that's when I saw my first check, and I took a big picture of that. Yeah, that was well worth taking a picture of.
You still got that picture?
Oh, I still got the picture. Yeah, I have to search for it, but I still got the picture. Yeah.
And I know we got to wrap up and get on out of here, but talk about Don Cornelius and that experience on Soul Train. What did that mean to you?
Well, Don Cornelius was a pioneer. He was the one that gave us all a platform. I mean, before then, as black artists, we didn't really have a platform. We got lucky if we got on Dick Clark, but we never had a platform to where every time we had a record, we got exposure. And he exposed us to the world, So Soul Train made most black artists household names, So I can't tell you how much I love Don Cornelius and what he did for me, and not just me, but every other black artist. I mean, he opened up the world to us.
And now we transition from what he did as a pioneer to our re-elected president, Barack Obama. What are your thoughts of seeing him in office?
It's a wonderful thing, man. It just goes to let you know that, we've had this fight for years. We fought this fight, and to see a black man sitting up there in the office is probably one of the greatest things in my lifetime that I'll ever see. I didn't think I'd ever see it in my lifetime. So to see it is an absolute incredible treasure, to see that happen. I wish that Martin was here to see it, you know what I mean? Because he paved the way and lost a lot of lives during that battle. And so it's really nice to see that happen, and I'm behind him 100%.
Before we get out of here, is there anything that you would like for your fans to see when they watch this video? Is there anything that you would like them to know about you that they just don't know?
Well, let's see. Well, I just had my very first celebrity golf tournament last year in my hometown of Providence, Rhode Island. And it's going to be an annual tournament now. And Magic Johnson hosted it for me, and Pat Riley came, and I had New Edition, I had OJ's, I had Smokey Robinson, I had Sinbad. I had a great turnout, raised a lot of money for a lot of charities, and it was so successful that we're going to make it an annual thing. So we're doing it again this August 12th and 13th in my hometown of Providence, Rhode Island, and it's a lot of work. I'm putting a lot of work in, but it's great to be able to give back, especially in my hometown, to be able to go off and be successful and come back and give back. So that means a lot to me.
Well, you heard it here first. This is Mr. Jeffery Osborne. Thank you so much for your time. Thank you for taking the time out just to be open to me and to my audience, and I appreciate that so much.
My pleasure, man. My neck is tired. I'm looking up at you.
From Rhode Island down to the ATL, that's Mr. Jeffery Osborne and Tallboy on the Tallboy Experience. Thank you so much.
All right, now.
Think big, think tall, think